Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Sonder Social. I'm so excited to have you join me in setting up your week. I am Malika, for those of you who have never been with me to a Sonder Social. And for those who are returning, welcome back. And for those who are new, welcome. Shout yourselves out in the chat. If you're new, just say, I'm new. We are so excited to have you here with us. I know that I am so excited to set up my week with you all. I feel like weekly setups are a great way to get rid of those Sunday scaries, and I am so excited that you've joined us. All right, we have Alessandra who is new. We have Ambry, I believe Ambry's new, Chelsea's new. Awesome. Sierra's new. Oh, wait, Sierra's not new. Sorry about that. And Crystal's new. Amazing. Cool. Well, welcome to all of our new friends who are joining us. And for just a little bit before we get started, make sure to set your chat to everyone. Sometimes the webinar format, it automatically sends it to the hosts and panelists and not to everyone in the group. And speaking of hosts, my co-host, Jennifer O, is in the chat with us, and she's gonna pop on and give you a little wave. Everyone say hi to Jen. She is gonna
Hello,
be
hello.
there she is. She is gonna be popping in the chat with you all, just kind of answering any questions you might have. So make sure to say hello to her. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Why not? All right. Make sure you have your October journals. That's the first thing, and something to write with. All right. Okay, so let's talk about this month's theme of perseverance. So on page 3, I'm going to read the definition: persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. So I had a great Sonder Social on Friday where we really unpacked the theme. We dived into some journal prompts, and it was really a great discussion about what perseverance means in all of our lives. And I think we demonstrate perseverance whenever we're faced with a challenge or faced with a situation where we thought we would be flourishing, but maybe we're not. Maybe there's some roadblocks in the way, but we continue to persevere, and that determination that lies within is really something that comes from perseverance and just rising above and believing in ourselves. So kind of keep that in mind as we do the intro activity, and we will kind of unpack perseverance as we go week to week with our mind map. All right, so I'm gonna flash the community guidelines. Before we get started, just remember that this is a place where we want to be kind and courteous to yourself and others. This is not a place for promo or spam. Make sure to respect everyone's privacy. There's no hate speech or bullying. If you have any product or accessory questions, send those to hello@siliconsonder.com. And then also just remember that Sonder socials are a way for us to all connect with each other, get the most out of our journals, and just really have a great time for the rest of the hour and really show up for yourself. So you've already done the first step by coming here. So it's time to make use of this hour and just really get your week set up and get rid of those Sunday scaries. All right. Okay, so we'll run through the agenda. We'll start off with the perseverance mind map, and then we'll move into Rosebud Thorn. Then we will do our weekly setup pages, and then finally we'll close the social together. Okay, so for the perseverance mind map, I want all of you to either flip to where you started it last week, or if you are new and you haven't started this and you didn't come to the last weekly setup, that's completely fine. We're on week 2, so you can focus on week 2, and then you can come back for week 1 if you want to fill it out. But basically, we're going to unpack perseverance and explore a different focus area each time. So for this week, we're going to focus on what does perseverance mean to you? Think about that definition that that I said in the beginning of the social. How would you define perseverance? How do you show up for yourself? How do you persevere? Think about the ways you persevere. Think about maybe a situation where you felt like you had to demonstrate a lot of perseverance, or think about maybe how you show up in spite of maybe without thinking about like the failure aspect of it. So maybe you don't do as well as you thought you did, but you still continue. So think about what perseverance means to you. So I define perseverance means a determination to choose myself even in the most challenging of situations. So like an undoubted belief in myself to continue. So that is kind of how I define perseverance, but I'll give you all a few moments to answer this question, and then pop in the chat what perseverance means to you, because I know we all have different definitions and different ways of looking at it. And it's always fun to read what you're writing down. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, I just wanted to pop in. I love the definitions that are popping into the chat. I love what Rhonda said, not giving up in or giving into the doubt and or obstacles, but put in front of me and pushing to reach the goal. While doing so, keeping a gracious and grateful mindset while learning from every step throughout the journey. I love that. Perseverance is making it through a challenge with determination when you weren't sure you would make it. I missed, oh, this is what she said in the last, oh, okay. Yes, perseverance is really tough. I think it's like something that it kind of tests us. We're always tested at sometimes unexpectedly. And I love what you all are writing. I feel like just rising to the challenge. And it's definitely I love what Rachel also wrote. Perseverance is resilience in action. I love that. But thank you all so much for sharing your definitions of perseverance. We will now move on to Rosebud Thorn. So turn to page, let's see, 36 for this week's Rosebud Thorn. So for Rosebud Thorn, this is when we would reflect on the past week, think about something that went really well, something that is a bud, and something that is a thorn. So think about what is going well, a highlight or something that you're grateful for. A bud, something that is a new and emerging opportunity, and then a thorn, something that is a challenge or something that you've been struggling with. So for my rosebud thorn, I always like to share my personal rosebud thorn for the week. So my rose is I feel a lot more balanced in my life, and it's really helped me mentally. My bud is I'm excited for all things fall. I made a fall bucket list with my bingo board in this week, so I'm very excited to cross things off, get into the fall season. And now that it's finally cooled down in San Francisco, it's finally feeling like fall. So I'm very excited. And then my thorn is I definitely miss being home. I definitely want to go back home for a little bit. And I was looking up flights to go home, and because it's last minute and I didn't plan it, I don't think I can go this month, which is a bummer, but Thanksgiving is around the corner. So hopefully I'll get to go in November. So I'm very excited for that. That thorn will become a bud very soon. But I invite you all to think about your rosebud thorn for the week. And I'll give you all a few minutes and go ahead and share in the chat if you feel comfortable what your rosebud thorn is. All right. Thank you all for sharing your rosebud thorn. It's we all live very complicated lives, and sometimes things go well, but sometimes things serve as a challenge. And it's important to recognize what might need a little bit more attention in our lives, what we're looking forward to, and what we can celebrate. So thank you for taking notice of how your week's going, and maybe this will set your intention of how you want to feel for your week going forward. So speaking of, we'll now turn to page 40 of your weekly setup, and we're going to focus on that first box, how you want to feel. So maybe think about any of these feelings that are on this wheel, and think about how you want to feel this week. What type of feeling do you want to feel? And I would love everyone to type it in the chat once they've figured out what that phrase or that word is. I want to feel focused, happy, energized, lovingly aligned, amazing, astonishing, prepared. Ambry, I literally wrote the same thing in mine: prepared, and cozy, grateful, energized, calm, empowered. Um, I want to feel focused, healthy, better, accomplished, organized, like I'm smashing it. Wow, lots of similar words. I see a lot of accomplished. I see a lot of bright like a diamond. I love that one. Little Rihanna. Confident, focused, motivated, healthy and recovered, healthy and happy, rested, optimistic, productive, proud of me. Fantastic. These are all such powerful words. And identifying how you want to feel is truly the first step to getting to that feeling and setting your intention for the week. All right. We will now move on to the next one, which is the weekly major 3 goals. So that box right below, we're going to write down our 3 major goals. So you can always use this to write any 3 goals you may have, or maybe you want to map it to that feeling that you set your intention to at the top. And you can also see some examples here. So one was a repurpose. Maybe you want to use a quote to help you kind of get in, just get you motivated through your week. Also, you can just use your word and apply it to different areas. So how do you want to feel energized in your work, body, and mind? This is a great example here. Also, celebrating health, family, and vacation. That's a fun way to apply it. But you can also just make it any 3 goals that you want. These are mine and from the past, and sometimes I just put any 3 goals that you want to accomplish that are just something that you want to do for this week. So try to think about what those 3 goals are. And then if you feel so inclined, feel free to share in the chat what one or all 3 of your goals are, so that we can kind of see what is on your list for the week. All right. Thank you all for sharing some goals you have this week. I see a lot of health related goals, productivity goals, just being grateful with what you have, and just kind of figuring out how we transition into the new season. Just definitely great goals that everyone has. I know mine's going to be a little bit more on focus on productivity and health, just because I feel like I haven't really been making that a core focus and I want to get back to it. So those are the weekly major three goals. And now we'll move on to the to do section to the left. So for the weekly to do section, I'll walk through a few different ways you can set this up. You don't have to set it up this way. Of course, you can make it into like a checklist, but you can also set it up this way if it will work for you. This is the Eisenhower matrix. So basically, it helps us prioritize our to-dos based on importance and urgency. And it helps us identify what we need to do, things that are actual to-do items, what decisions we need to make, what we can delegate to people around us, and what we need to delete or remove from our lives so that it limits our distractions. So that's a great way to organize this. I love it. I think it's a fun way to set up priorities for the week. Also, oops, here we go. And then here is another a couple examples. So there's a need, want, hope to-do list. So maybe there's something kind of on the horizon you want to get organized for. Think about like your wish list, whatever that may be. I like this concept of a need, want, and hope. It's a little bit more for those dreamers. And then also we have, maybe you want to focus on setting up a routine for this week. A different morning routine or an evening routine is a great way to put in this, a great thing to put in this section. Also, I know Jeno loves a to-do list, and a to-do list basically means giving yourself that just that extra bit of love when you go through something challenging in the week. So giving yourself like that gold star that we often deserve, but we never give to ourselves. So it's definitely a great way to add as you go through your week and encounter things that are challenging. You give yourself credit for checking those off. And then also, you can also make this into a bingo board. I've done that in the past where it's fun to kind of cross things off, make it more of a game. So definitely think about that if that's thing that works for you. I feel like it's fun to kind of put stickers on it or just kind of fill it in, whatever it may be, color it in. It's a fun way to kind of cross things off your list. So those are a few different examples of how you can structure your to-do list. I'll give you all a few minutes to write out your to-dos for the week, and then we'll move on to the habit section below. All right. Thank you for setting up your weekly to-dos. I saw a great idea that Meha had, setting up the to-do list as a large, medium, and small list so you can prioritize what's going to take less time, what's going to take more time. That definitely is a great way to organize it as well. And yeah, wonderful. Cool. All right, we will now set up our habit and activity section. So right below the to do and the major three goals is the habit and activity section. So here you can set it up a few different ways. You can definitely make it I love this example here where you can write in some metrics in the bubble. So you don't have to just necessarily cross it off, but also you can write down if you're tracking like your weight, or if you're tracking your fruit and veggie intake, or your alcohol intake, whatever it may be. That is a great way to set up your habit section. These are mine on the bottom. Typically, mine are focused on like activity, so physical activity, or just like setting some time to rest my mind and stay away from electronics for a little bit, whatever it may be. So kind of different priorities based on the week, but something in that realm is usually what I put in the section, some self-care stuff. And then also this goal section, you can, or you don't have to fill this one out. So the intent is not to, make sure you cross out every bubble. It's going to be hard to fill out every single habit every single day. I mean, if you can, amazing, but if you can't, that's totally fine. This is a place where we need to give ourselves grace. So make sure to keep that in mind throughout your week. It's not intended to put pressure on yourself. It's just a simple reminder of maybe how many times you can do that habit. And the first step is to really identify what is going to work for you and what's not going to work for you. And maybe you can tailor your habits as you go week to week. And then also, if you're feeling like you don't want to put anything in the section, I love what this person did in just writing a little note to themselves in the section and covering up the bubbles with some stickers. It's totally okay to skip sections if you feel like you just want to put the pressure off. That's completely fine. So definitely feel free to take this in any direction that you'd like to, and tell us if you're tracking a new habit this week, what that habit is, or what's your favorite habit to kind of put on your habit tracker. I would love to kind of see what your habits you want to track this week. So I'll give you all a few minutes to fill that out, and then we'll regroup for the meal plan. All right. Thank you all for sharing what habits you're going to track this week. I'm really excited to see you all crush your goals. So this will be a fun week. I know I added a new one where I'm going to try to keep a clean desk every day, or every evening, so that every time I wake up in the morning, everything is clean and organized. So I'm kind of excited for that habit this week. And I hope I'm going to stick to it. So I'm very excited. All right. We'll now move on to the meal plan section. So, of course, you can use it for its intended purpose. If you're a meal planner, go ahead and write down what meals you want to eat for the week, what dinners you have on prepared, whatever that may be. But you can also use this as a food log for folks who maybe don't, like me, who definitely don't prepare ahead of time what they're going to eat every day. But you can use it as a food log. You can also put some washi tape and get really creative with this section. It's really like a blank box with Monday through Sunday. So you can make it serve you in whatever way you want. So sometimes you can put affirmations here. So here are some examples of affirmations. You can also use this section as a place for reflection. So maybe you want to kind of reflect every day or every morning, every evening, whenever you journal, write a sentence about your day. You can also use this for the 7 types of rest. Maybe you want to focus on a different rest area each day of the week. I love this example here where you can put the, like, maybe you have a big chore, a big task, like one thing is like cleaning the whole house, but you can separate it zone by zone so that it's less stressful, less time intensive, and you work your way through the home. I love that idea. And then here is an example of somebody who is planning out their outfits. Maybe they have a vacation to look forward to and they want to look cute for each day of their trip. And you can kind of set up your kind of your looks for the week. So there's definitely a ton of different ways you can take this. It's really up to you how you like to use this section. So I'll give you all a few minutes and set it up however you'd like to, and then we'll move on to the Mind and Health Plan next. All right. Thank you all for sharing how you kind of take this section. I know it's a fun one to repurpose. So thank you for sharing how you repurpose this section. And we will now move on to the Mind Body Health Plan. So let me change the slide. Okay, here are some ideas for your Mind Body Health Plan. I like to put in workouts that I want to do this week, because one of my major goals this week is to work out and stick to my workout routine. I'm gonna make sure this is fully focused on working out, but you can also repurpose this section and make it more of a holistic self-care. So you can always tap into those 7 types of rest. So think about physical, mental, sensory, creative, emotional, social, and spiritual. You can also just think about all the cozy things that you might want to do for fall. So what's going to put you in that fall mood? Is it going to be making warm apple cider? Is it going to be reading with a candle? Or what is going to make you feel a little bit more reset? Is what I think would be a great idea to take this, especially as we go into the colder months. So definitely feel free to use inspiration from folks in the chat. I know there's definitely some other ways you can repurpose this or get ideas. So you can definitely use it the way you'd like to. So I'll give you all a few minutes to write out your mind body health plan, and we will regroup for the shopping list next. All right. We will now move on to the next section, which is the shopping list section. So for this section, you can always write out your like what you need. Maybe you want things for, something that's coming up, an event that's coming up, or maybe you need to plan a vacation and you have things that you need to get, or whatever it may be, your online shopping, whatever it may be. So you can use it for a shopping list. You can use it for a grocery shopping list as well. But you can also repurpose the section. It's truly a blank box. So here are some examples of how you can set it up. You can Nicole's putting stickers. I love it. Yeah, this is a great place for an inspirational quote sticker. I love it. I know Jennifer O loves a good bingo board. So this is a great place to put another bingo board. Maybe you didn't put one in the to-do list section, but you want to put it here. That's a great way to do it. Maybe it's a place where you put your appointments. I also like to use this section sometimes to maybe have a little bit of reflection. one week I wanted to focus on feeling inspired. So I thought about what inspires me, who inspires me, and when do I feel most inspired. So that's a fun way to use this section. I see some people putting like a chores chart here, which is a great way to do this. I think for this week, I want to maybe focus on what books I want to read this week, because that's a big to do item for myself. I feel like I recently just realized that I had so many books, and my sister keeps giving me books to read, and I need to finish them because it's just adding to my list, and there's just a lot that I need to get through. And now that it's a little bit less, it's getting colder, I'm home more. The sun is setting a little bit earlier. I have no more excuses. I'm home, so I'm going to start reading a little bit more. So that is going to be on my list. So I'll give you all a few moments to set up your shopping list, however it may be, even if you're not using it in like a shopping, in like a shopping structure. How else are you using it? I would love to know how you use this section, because I know a lot of people get creative with this blank box. So let us know how you structured this section, and I'll see you all in a few minutes. All right. I'm loving the chatter in the chat. Everyone loves like some different types of music. I love that jazz song. It's always nice and relaxing for a cozy Sunday evening. So thank you all for kind of spending that time setting up your week. We're not done just yet. There's one last section remaining, which is the I am loving section. So try to think about, maybe sit in your comfortable seat or wherever you're sitting and just roll your shoulders back and maybe take some time to close your eyes for a little bit and really reflect on what you're currently loving in your life right now. Think about what that is. What is going well? What is inspirational to you? What is something that's just going really, really well that you want to acknowledge and just share with us? I see in the chat, there's people already kind of writing. I think we all agree that the crisp fall air is something that we're all looking forward to. I know there's such a like, everyone loves summer, but there's something about fall. Like, I feel like the air feels a little bit better. So I totally get that. I definitely love spending time with you all. I think I've definitely am excited to have 2 Sonder socials this weekend. That's what I'm loving. I always feel so happy after connecting with all of you. So I definitely put that in my section. Rev, it's the 90s in San Jose. It'll cool down this week. It's cooling down in San Francisco. It will all cool down at some point eventually. But thank you all so much for sharing with us. I know it's very fun to set up our weeks together, and you've done all the hard work in setting up your week so you're prepared. You know what your intentions are, what your goals are, what to-dos you have to do for the week. You set up the habits you're going to track. You figured out your meal plan, your mind body health plan, and have identified what you're loving. So we've already kind of done the hard work. And now we are closing out the social. So make sure to share your weekly pages with us in Sonder Club. Here are some other QR codes for you all, and Jen just popped it in the chat. So take advantage of that referral program. That referral program helps kind of you identify people in your lives that would love Silk and Sonder the way you do. So definitely take advantage of that. I know I have a lot of friends that have joined Silk and Sonder just in my network, and they love it as much as I do, and it's really helped their lives. So I definitely love taking advantage of that. Also, if you're on a subscription plan that's not the annual one, maybe check that one out. It'll save you a ton of money, and it is like something, if it's going well for you, might as well take advantage of that annual subscription. And then also, if you haven't downloaded already, make sure to download the app, which is a part of the subscription. And that's how we engage with the community outside of these socials. So make sure to snap pics of your weekly pages and say hello to everyone in Sonder Club. And then also Jen popped in the chat the YouTube link. So that YouTube link is a private YouTube link that is houses all of our past socials and all of our programming content for you all. So you guys can have access to that. If there's something that you missed and you just want a little bit more instruction on, go ahead and take advantage of that content that's there. So thank you all once again so much for being with us this evening. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And before we close out, I'm going to share my playlist, because I know that's often a question that everyone wants. They want the access to the playlist, so there it is. But thank you all once again so much. I will see you at my next social. Bye, everybody.
I don't need to be anything other than a prison guard son. I don't need to be anything other than a specialist son. I don't have to be anyone other than a bird that two souls in one. Part of where I'm going, it's knowing where I'm coming from. I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me and I have peace of mind. I'm tired of looking around, who's wondering what I gotta do, or who I'm supposed to